Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. We are beginning this week at Tyson and we're in Dakota City. We are doing something this week that we never ever do.
I haven't done it since like my first month with the company.
Regardless, it has been a very, very long time since either one of us have done what we are about to do.
Going to California!
Just in case that blew your speakers out, we are going to California. This load, it is Friday. It is Friday. And we have to be in Tracy, California by 4 a.m. on Monday.
Pedal to the metal today, boys.
Yeah, and we're looking at around 1,700 miles, right, from here?
1,700 miles in 3 days.
Yeah.
Which is doable.
Yeah.
Just, we ain't gonna be letting the grass grow.
No. Having picked up this load, going to California, I want to talk about some very specific things about California. They enforce DOT rules out there with
An iron fist.
yes. They are much more active than any other state that we go to. And they're much more proactive than any other state that we go to. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be proactive. It's just they are more so than any other state that we go to. That being said, he is required by law to do a pre-trip on this truck every single day. Okay? And that includes things like checking your tire pressures, making sure your fluids are at a good level, that all of your lights are working, that your air brakes are in top order, you know, things like that. There's other stuff that goes along with it that I don't really know, but those are the basics. And one of the things that you are responsible for as a driver, and I don't care if you've done a pre-trip or not, if you have hooked onto a trailer and you are pulling it down the road, you are responsible to make sure that that trailer is at or under the gross allowable weight. For us,
About 80,000 pounds.
yep. And that has to include this truck, this trailer, and everything in it. But if you go hook onto a load and you're 80,500 pounds, it's your responsibility to go back to where you got that load picked up from and have them rework it, take some weight off. It's so mandated. Tyson has a sign over there on the wall that says immediately after leaving, you have to go get it weighed and get things right. So exemption or no, you still have legal limits that you are allowed to be in. That's something else California has. They have what's called a bridge line. You can only be so long.
From the kingpin of my trailer to the center of the rear axle, I can only be 40 feet long.
These trailers have adjustable axles, which means that you can kind of shift where your weight is, but only so much and still be under that 40-foot mark. So, yeah, it's a both. It's a weight and a length. And so, you know, California has been extra diligent about a few particular companies here lately because those few particular companies here lately have been exceeding one, the other, or both. No. California penalties are some of the absolute worst. And furthermore, every state has weigh stations at their points of entry. So where an interstate comes into a new state, there will be a scale house there. Most of the states that we roll through, those guys are closed. They've got other things that they're doing out on the road. California?
A friend of ours went through there at 2 o'clock in the morning. They were open.
Yep. California scale houses are almost always open. And it's like going into another country. I mean, you have to do everything but show your damn passport. You know, and you'll get to see that later. Because, yeah, we'll show you. And it doesn't matter if you're a commercial vehicle or a passenger car. You have to go through these ports of entry. So all of that together means that we are going to be extra diligent about every little thing. So it's bound to be an interesting ride. I could go on for days about some of the rules that California has, and most of them are the reason that we don't go to California. we did get the truck into the shop while we were at the yard yesterday, and Neil is my hero of the week. He made it so that my seat actually reclines to like a 93 degree now, and it doesn't sound like much, but it is a lot. And he also installed my armrest. So yeah.
Yeah, she's not spoiled at all.
This week's trivia question.
Why do farts sound the way that they do? Why do farts sound different? Just one person, you fart, it sounds different. Why? Stick around, you're gonna find out.
So come along with us and enjoy the scenery, because we are going to get to see Donner Pass, and it is
Beautiful.
Stunning.
Very beautiful.
We'll see you guys out there in between the lanes. recently left Costco. Turns out drivers out here aren't any nicer than they are anywhere else. Apparently, if you're in a car, that gives you right of entitlement over anyone in a semi. Trip out here was pretty uneventful for the most part. The traffic was about what you would expect traffic to be. We did take a little extra time and stop at the Bonneville Salt Flats. We've been across there a couple of times. was not on speaking terms with the salt flats.
It's
Whatever.
cool. I like the history that's there for the speedway, but I don't like driving across it.
And I finally convinced him the other day to stop and let me be a tourist.
Oh, she begged and pleaded. It was disgusting.
I did not. I did not. The Bonneville Flats are a very small portion of all of the total salt flat area.
Once you leave northern Salt Lake City and actually start out across the flats to get to the other side, which is Wendover, it takes about an hour.
At any rate, somebody did like Iraq. How was it?
Very salty.
It was chilly in Nevada, crossing over into California. I mean, you could see it was a big crossing point. Everybody has to stop. It went way quicker and smoother than
That's probably
what I
the
remember.
fastest I've ever been through one of them.
Yeah. And then last night, we went to Jack in the Box.
It's a hamburger.
We don't have Jack in the Box where we live, and they're not super common where we go, and they're just generally not accessible for us, so we haven't ever had the opportunity to go. But where else in the world can you order a burger and instead of getting fries, you get tacos as a side? So, yeah, I did a thing. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give the burger a solid 8.
Yeah. I'll give the burger an 8. The overall experience of everything, I'll drop it down to about a 7.
So now, like I said, we have made our delivery to Costco warehouse, and on Friday, I think we got the notification for our next load. We are going down to Tulare, California, and our load doesn't pick up until 5 a.m. tomorrow. We are picking up at...
Who has cold storage?
It's hard telling what we're actually going to get, but it goes back to Lebanon, Indiana,
Where
which...
we was just at not too long ago.
So
if
we
it's
could
the
say-
same load,
Yeah.
we're going to be hauling ice cream.
Stick around for another few minutes. Dryer's Ice Cream. Gotta love these kind of places, though. We are less than a mile from the truck stop that we stayed at last night.
Yeah. I had to start my clock for 5 minutes to get here.
We pulled onto the property at 4:20, and it is now 6:25. The line that was up here when we pulled in,
There was about 9 people in line.
Yeah.
At least 9.
I thought it was going to take forever. I'm impressed. We're probably going to go scale this and then get out of California about as fast as we can. So, bye. ice cream a while ago, but I was waiting for it to be daylight outside. California didn't end up being as bad as I thought it was going to be. E-Smart just kind of took over and kept us at 55 the whole time.
It wasn't too bad, actually.
The part that really sucked about that was coming back across the Mojave. It is 100 miles at least that you have to do that. You got to do it all at 55 miles an hour.
So that took a while.
Yeah. Overall, between the two, I think I would rather go across the Salt Flats because at least that we can do 70. What was it? Nothing really happened in Arizona. Nothing really happened in New Mexico.
It was a very uneventful drive back.
Yeah. We did stop by the house yesterday and stayed the night at the house yesterday. So, yeah, a little Kansas footage in there. That video coming out of Kansas, almost hit a deer. That is a typical dirt road in our part of the country. And immediately after exiting said dirt road, we got pulled over by a county deputy. Apparently there is a detour in the county somewhere on a major highway, and a lot of commercial motor vehicles have been bypassing the detour.
And taking the county roads, which are not designed for semis.
Right.
They're not supposed to be out there.
3 o'clock in the morning, we encounter a deputy sheriff, and he's like, oh, hey, what are you doing on the dirt road? Pulls us over, comes walking up, and he sticks his head out the window and is like, morning. Guy goes, oh, it's you.
He recognized me.
It was recognized who he was and where he lives. Okay, so where we delivered, our appointment wasn't until 8 a.m. today, and it is just almost 8 a.m. right now. They allow you to get there 6 hours early. So
We got
needless
there
to
about
say,
4.5 hours early.
yeah, we rolled off the lot 2 hours before our appointment time. So you remember way back at the beginning of this video, we proposed a trivia question. It had something to do with flatulence. In the interest of living up to my promises, I'm just gonna put the information from the Google search on the screen. Pause to read. The TLDR version is, think of it like playing a musical instrument. Your mouth makes a different shape, your instrument makes a different sound. So it is with your rear end. Store those facts away for future, and you might win this week's round of trivia. In the realm of our truck, we have figured out how to run the APU without load shedding the whole interior of the truck.
It's working great.
It is working great. I'm waking up cold. However, this truck does have a new and interesting feature that we can't figure it out.
She is the ninth dwarf.
Yeah?
She whistles while she works.
Very much dwarfish about her, but yeah, don't know what's going on, and it only happens between like 35 and 50 miles an hour.
She whistles.
And so there's no way to really determine where it's coming from. Otherwise, I think we're settling into Octo very nicely. So is there anything else that you want to add, say, do, see?
Like, share, and subscribe.
Tell all your friends, but in the meantime, thanks for watching. See you, bye! Wow, that dude is humid.
They're breathing heavy.